Okay, Nick and Andy, huge game of the Champions League coming up at the San Siro this week. Inter Milan against Liverpool. Nick, obviously all the focus is on Mohamed Salah being left out of the Liverpool squad after that incredible ranting interview he gave after their draw against Leeds United at the weekend. Obviously his future's up in the air, all the rest of it, but Liverpool's Champions League hopes for this season are kind of up in the air as well. What are your thoughts on that and how big this game is? Because if they lose this, then all of a sudden, not only are they looking at not being a top seed in the knockout rounds, but they could be scrapping just to be in the knockouts themselves. So this is a big game for Liverpool and a big moment in their season, it feels like.
Yeah, and when they were a title contender, and they still may be in the grand scheme of things because no one's run away with it yet, you would think to yourself, man, you got to get that bye because you just don't want a couple more games on your schedule. Now I'm thinking you got to get that bye because I don't know that you're going to even be steady enough to beat one team in that period of time. And Inter are very good. And going away to Inter right now, you want to, at the very least, say, we're all in this together. And there's a reason I'm laughing, Joe.
Ugh. Andy, what are your thoughts, mate? Because, Liverpool, I think they found some stuff in attack without Salah. They've made some changes and look slightly better going forward. But defensively, still so shaky at the back, and the balance is off. And I just feel like this is quite a bad matchup for them against Inter in terms of the teams they've lost to in the Premier League this season or have had problems with the way they play. But I guess the form of Ekitike and Wirtz in particular gives them some hope that they can kind of, as long as they stay solid, they can get potentially a really big win for them here against Inter Milan.
Yeah, I don't hate for all the negative, the criticism that Slot has got for his part in the Salah feud here. I don't hate what he's done tactically and bringing Szoboszlai into the team into that position. It's clearly a weak spot defensively. It was a weak spot defensively when Trent Alexander-Arnold was the right back and Mohamed Salah was scoring 30 some goals in the Premier League last season. So like at some point he had to look at it and he had to address it and try to fix it. And if the best solution is remove Mohamed Salah from the 11 in that position and replace him with someone who's going to do more defensive work and it makes the team better, that's not Arne Slot's fault. And he's just doing his job. And so I do like this new setup because you spend all that money on Wirtz in the summer. You have to play him. You have to give him an opportunity to get his footing within the team. And I don't know, at that price tag, you kind of have to almost come in and establish yourself as one of the guys just because of what the expectation is that's been placed upon you. And I don't know that he can do that with Salah in the team. I don't know anyone else can do that with Salah in the team at the time. And who knows, maybe slightly further down the road, this is an advantage for Alexander Isak as well whenever he gets inevitably going at Liverpool. So I'm just thinking about what taking Salah out of this team does for a lot of different individuals in the team. And it seems to open up a lot of, maybe positive pathways for players to produce in ways that they haven't in the past or haven't, even been asked to or needed to do.
No, that's the thing. I think this is an opportunity now for somebody else or a couple of other players to step up and be like, I can do this. I can try and get somewhere near the level Salah's been hitting. And this is my moment now to be the talisman. And whether individually or as a collective, that's now the task for the likes of Ekitike, Isak, Wirtz, Szoboszlai. There's so many great attacking players there, but it's all about the balance and the chemistry. And again, you're right. I don't think you can blame Slot for taking Salah out of the team, given A, he hasn't produced numbers-wise like he did last season, and B, defensively, they've been so weak down that side of the pitch and been targeted so many times by teams this season because he hasn't been doing the level of work that he needs to be defensively. So, yeah, going to be interesting to see how they do in this game. I think it's going to be a great window into what's coming up for the next few weeks because, of course, whatever happens to Salah's future, he's not going to be around. He's going to be at AFCON. So we now know who's going to be playing in those sort of roles for Liverpool, and it's not going to be Salah over the busy festive period. Nick, you praised Inter Milan earlier. Obviously, so solid, reliable. Even though Inzaghi's moved on, they're still persisting with the 3-5-2 formation. That's been so good for them and had so much success, especially domestically and getting to Champions League finals and all the rest of it. And they've won 4 out of 5 in the Champions League this season. And it seems like, again, they are set up pretty well to hit Liverpool on the counter, which they really have struggled to defend those situations this season. I mean, I'm thinking of Lautaro Martinez, Marcus Thuram on the break there, the way they combine. The wing backs have been so good. Obviously, Dumfries is a question mark for fitness for this game, but DeMarco on the other side, and it just seems like a bad matchup for Liverpool at this particular moment in time. And Inter Milan, again, just fly under the radar. I feel like every season now, we just kind of go, yeah, they're good. And then they make at least the quarterfinals or semi-finals of the Champions League without much fuss. So there's a lot of great experience in this team, isn't there?
There is, and I like that they can come at you from a number of different directions. It's not dissimilar to the way it operates at Argentina with Martinez, which is occasionally he comes off the bench because they have so many good attackers. And young Ange Johan Boni, I think I said it correctly, has been contributing them. Calhanoglu has swapped Milan sides and is scored 6 goals in Serie A. Like, this is a team that is functioning within a framework. And that's the opposite of that's what Arne Slot's trying to establish right now. And yeah, I mean, I think Slot's going to look across the field and say, hey, you changed managers and it all worked out. That was me last year. Can't we put this all back together?
Yeah. Andy, how do you think it's all going to work out on the pitch? Score prediction time.
It's going to be a good game because I think Liverpool are going to have kind of a desperation that they haven't had to have for a while. And I think they're going to show that. I think that there is potential for the Salah situation to kind of, depending on which side of the fence the dressing room comes down on, which we still don't know at this point, there is a potential for it to kind of galvanize everybody and say, okay, new season starts right now. We do what we can from this point forward, and the Champions League is the best thing that we could do. So I could see them coming together around that. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw with probably a lot of chances. I think we're going to see Liverpool look much better in attack, but the defensive the imbalance, I guess, is still going to be there for a bit.
Nick, what are you going with, mate?
I do like that 2-2 because I think Liverpool have, and we talked about this maybe last week or the week before that, just too many players who at the moment will see the stage is more interesting than the club. And that works a lot in these situations. It's the Real Madrid scenario. So I will, however, just be the guy who makes Liverpool fans mad. I'll say 2-1 to Inter Milan.
Oh, I think I'm going to make him even madder because I'm going to go 3-1 to Inter Milan. I think this is a terrible time for Liverpool to go to Inter Milan, given how fragile they've looked against Leeds. Again, good going forward, but just I don't trust Liverpool defensively right now, and I feel like they just concede goals in bunches, as we saw against PSV in the last Champions League game as well, that shock defeat. And I think it's quite a predictable blueprint to beat them at the moment. You can sit deeper, frustrate them a little bit, hang in there, and then they are wide open on the counter. And I think that plays into Inter's hands perfectly. So that's our predictions. Head over to Pro Soccer Talk at NBCSports.com for all the latest on Inter Milan against Liverpool. Of course, all the focus will be on Salah, but he won't be playing in this game. He's been left out of the squad. So let's see if some of Liverpool's other stars can step up and take some of this pressure off Arne Slot. It'll be a great game at the San Siro.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.